So I have to get some stuff at Target today, and I thought we would check out the book section. Onyx Storm has released. I'm curious to see what that section looks like. It's been a few days since it came out, and we'll see if there's any other good books there. So while Onyx Storm was the biggest release that happened this week, it was not the only one. So I'm curious to see what other new releases they're gonna have on the shelves back here. So they put some milk chocolate pops up here with some of the romance books. Honestly, these shelves are extremely bare. There's like hardly anything here. But Keep Me in Your Heart, I've seen this one. I love the heart-shaped edges. Super cute. This is an Entangled Publishing release. Definitely a Valentine's Day read. Colleen Hoover, of course. And Tessa Bailey. I heard Secret Years is really cute. I've read a couple Tessa Bailey books and realized that I don't think they're for me. She really is into the insta-love trope with her books. I've read 2 of them, and both of them were like overly infatuated immediately. Again, insta-love, so not my thing. But if you like that trope, Tessa Bailey does write a good one. I still love these candles. I saw them the other day when I was here. Always in my bookish era and reading light. And now we have some mugs. Oh, there's some new merch here. For the love of books. I'm on a read to know basis. That's hilarious. Read between the wine. And I haven't seen these before. So we have fuzzy reading socks. I didn't know that I needed those, but I think I might. And then these bookmarks. So I actually got one of these for Christmas. My mom got me one that had my initial and S on it, and they're magnets, so you flip around and they're magnetic. Several different types of reading lights, and there's another one right here. A perfect gift bag for books, a highlighter set, lots of pens, and just other bookmarks. I'm really excited to see that they're doing book merch here. These are actually pretty thick bookmarks. I really like the colors on this one. So I've heard about this one. My best friend actually sent it to me, Language of Dragons. I've not read it. I don't know much about it at all, but it sounds very similar to Fourth Wing. I mean, Hear the Call, Ignite the Revolution. That's very Fourth Wing-esque. So I'm curious if anybody's read this. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious what it's like, but it's like $15.99 here. Very pretty cover. This is the first time I've seen this, so Powerless and Reckless in like a boxed set. However, there's a novella that is not in here, and I bought the novella when it was the short size, and a lot of people complained, and now they're doing a regular size one. So that's kind of a bummer because now they're not doing the other novellas and the short one, so I'm gonna have a novella that doesn't really match size-wise. So I mean, I guess you get book 1 and book 2, but you wouldn't get the novella and the box set, but that's $33.59. I recently got this one, and I'm going to show you a picture of the sprayed edge version because it's gorgeous, and they do have the sprayed edge version of The Darkness Within. This is what I would consider the second one in the series. They have a couple copies of it. That's because this is in the wrong spot. It goes down here. There we go. But The Shadows Between Us is one of my favorite books from last year. Actually, I think it was my favorite book. I absolutely loved it. And the whole Hunger Games series is here, including the Hunger Games graphic edition. So I was able to get the hardback of books 2 and 3, and I would like to get the Hunger Games in hardback, as well as the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes before I get Sunrise on the Reaping, because I'm going to get that when it releases, and that'll be hardback. I feel like there's going to be a very quick timeline between when that book releases and when we're getting the movie, so I don't want to like wait a while to get the book. I'm just going to read it shortly after it comes out, which is March 17th, by the way. And if you have a Barnes & Noble near you, they're likely going to be doing a release party. I know the one near me is, so if you are interested in the release party for that and you had fun maybe at the Onyx Storm and didn't get to go to that one, there's another opportunity for a release March 17th. So they do not have Onyx Storm. The deluxe edition, Target exclusive, any editions, no Onyx Storm copies here. Again, a lot of the shelves are pretty bare. We have several romance novels here, but I loved this one. Look at these cute cameras on the edges here. This also looks like a good like Valentine's Day read too. Super cute, love those edges. And that one is $14.39. So here's the novella that I was talking about. So it is significantly smaller than Powerless or Reckless and was not in that box set. I wonder if they're going to do boxed sets of this with the full-size Powerful in the future. So I recently picked this one up, and it is supposed to be a romance that's better than the movies. If you didn't know, Barnes & Noble does $5 books with a cafe purchase, and this one has sprayed edges, and you can get it for $5 if you order like a coffee. So if you're already getting a coffee, just go to Barnes & Noble and get it, and you can grab this book for $5. So they have When the Moon Hatched. I have the Waterstone version, so I'll show a picture of it here, but this one just has regular blue edges, and then they also have the paperback of this one. And then this series right now is on sale, so I want to show you this. So this is Cursed and The Coven, so I don't know if they have any of the sprayed edge versions of The Coven. That's the first book. That's unfortunate because this one has gorgeous edges when you get the special edition, but this is like a dark romance if you're not into dark romance. It's not super duper dark, and it is a great one around Halloween time in my opinion because it is a witch romance. So this one first and then this one second. I really liked both of these, and dark romance is not my thing, but I did like witches, and so I read them around Halloween time and I really enjoyed it. They do have some copies of Fourth Wing here. They didn't have them up there. No edges on Fourth Wing. They still have those several places, so if you want them, you don't have to just get whatever copy you find. And then Iron Flame is out. So no Onyx Storm, no Iron Flame, but a couple copies of Fourth Wing, and they do have the Violet Little Thing journal. There's also the sprayed edge versions of Hurricane Wars in paperback and Monsoon Rising, which is book 2. With the sprayed edges here as well, but it's in the hardback, so you don't have the matching set here. But the Hurricane Wars, I don't know that they did any sprayed edges on this one until afterwards. There's a ton of special editions, but they did do that for book 2 because it was very popular. They do have variation if you wanted other Rebecca Yarros. I don't see anything else other than Fourth Wing here and variation from her. I haven't looked at every single book here yet, but the books around it were supposed to be hers, and that's all I've seen. So this one is very different than Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm, so if you're expecting that same vibe, this is totally different. But this is the book that she said she needed to write in order to write Onyx Storm. So I have it on my shelf. I have a signed edition of it that I got from her Barnes & Noble in Colorado, so I am excited to read this one because, well, I know it's a contemporary romance and very different than Onyx Storm. I would like to see what her thought process was and what work she did before she started writing Onyx Storm in order to be able to do that successfully. I also love this edition. Look at these. So cute. I love the edges on this. I also thought that the original covers for these looked super cheesy. Was not a fan of them at all. And they really did a good job with the special edition versions. Also, if you like quest and having high stakes trials, this book is fantastic. It was one of my favorite reads from last year as well. It was not quite as good as The Shadows Between Us, but it kept me reading. It's set in New Orleans, and it's just really well written. It kept me on my toes the entire time, and there is a mission in between the different trials as well that just keeps the pace going. A few spicier scenes, but really the focus is the trials and the plot in this one, and I am so excited for the second book that is coming out. I think it's in April. So that's it for the book section. I'm gonna grab the rest of the groceries and the things that I came in for, and then we're gonna check up front to see if they have any copies of Onyx Storm. Should I do the Valentine's Funfetti or the regular? Going to a get-together, and I'm bringing cupcakes. There's also this unicorn funfetti. I think I'm just gonna go with regular because there's gonna be a lot of guys there. It's supposed to be a Christmas party. We're just doing it like because nobody could get together for Christmas, so we're gonna do some funfetti cupcakes. So this area is reserved for new books, and it's pretty bare. We do have The Last One and Four Ruined Realms, which are both Red Tower releases, but no Onyx Storm here and none over here either. So at the time of this recording, We're like 3 days out from the release, and the fact that Target doesn't have any copies just talks to the fact that they had such an issue with their distribution process for this release. Like, they were not prepared for what was coming when it came to the hype around Onyx Storm and being able to provide not just their special exclusive edition or whatever, but also just providing copies of this book. And I don't live in like a huge city by any means. Like, this is our only Target. We have like 3 Walmarts, so I'm sure I could go somewhere. We have a Barnes & Noble that I'm pretty sure would have copies. They had a ton of copies at the release party. But I think Target in particular just underestimated the demand for this book. Not just at this Target, but many other Targets. I've heard of some Targets only having like 5 or 7 copies of the special edition and having a huge line waiting and only a handful of people getting it. They did different stuff at different stores. Some places allowed pickup, some places didn't. Some people it was a free-for-all, some places you had to stand in line. I have more details on that I'm doing in another video. And I don't know if this will come out first or that one, so I'll leave a link down below once it is out. And if it's not out already, subscribe and you'll get notified whenever I do post it. But if Target participates in any significant way in the release of book 4, I just hope that they learn from their mistakes here and do better.